Prepare yourself, guys. This is
Prepare yourself. It's very weird.
T3 Media.
Through the media.
There you go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talking Through the Medias, your home for entertainment news and reviews. If I remember to talk on time, by fans for fans. Remember to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. You can also support us. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member. You can sponsor us on Patreon for exclusives. And as always, make sure you're sharing those thoughts with us because we want to hear them. I'm Amy Newman, and joining me today, as always, Chris Fagan. Chris, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got the thing flickering. I know that throws you off whenever I'm messing around with the graphics. You're just sitting there like, Chris, get it together. I apologize. That was 100% my fault, guys. Hey, welcome back to the show. Just like she said, it's this weekly digital show where we talk about the couple of things in entertainment news that we have gone through over the week, and we compile them up together, compartmentalize them. I put the graphics together, and at the very last second, I think I got a show put together. We have a contract that says every time I mess something up live, Amy gets to collect a straight punch in the side of my head. So if me and her ever meet in real life, oh man, she's gonna beat me up because I've been totally dropping the ball. But hopefully this time I can go off unscathed this time. So let's hope how it is. You guys already know what it is. You already know what you guys have to do. Send those questions, send those comments. Let us know what you guys think about all the topics that we talk about, or if you just got a separate question that you want us to go over. Like I said, the meaning of life. Amy is always a just treasure trove of knowledge, and she knows a lot about a little and a little about a lot of things. And anything she doesn't know, she will tell you that between me and her, we know everything in the universe that there is to know. So what I do is, whenever you ask me a question that I don't have the answer to, I'm like, oh, that's something Amy would know, and then vice versa. So that's our gimmick. That's how we get away.
Between us, we are as smart as one whole smart person.
Between me and Amy, we know everything in the universe that there is to know.
We have one very good brain. If you put our brains together, I'll give you that.
Exactly. Well, and with that all out of the way, like I said, we got 3 topics that we're going to talk about. So remember, hit the like and subscribe button, support the channel. Let us know what you guys think. Go check out the blog. Check us out on social media. And let's just keep talking, like I always say. So let's get into it. I'm stalling. Let's go for it. What's out there?
From Entertainment Weekly, Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are in negotiations to play Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz in a film about the beloved TV and real-life couple set up at Amazon Studios, Being the Ricardos from director Aaron Sorkin. The film is said to take place during 1 week of production on the iconic sitcom I Love Lucy, beginning with the Monday table read and following Desi and Lucy through their Friday audience filming. Being the Ricardos delves into a point of crisis in their lives that challenges both their careers and their marriage. Cate Blanchett was discussed to play the leading role of Lucille Ball, according to reports, but has now been replaced by Kidman. Fellow Aussie actress Blanchett was in talks to take on the role as early as 2017 when it was first bought by Amazon.
So, what are your thoughts? I think we have some. If I can get us back on screen, I think we have some feelings about this one. We were kind of talking about it, and our friendship was almost in jeopardy on this one right now.
I know it's in negotiations, so nothing's hard finalized, okay. But I don't love it. I mean, I'm a pretty firm believer in give people a shot, but I feel like we've seen what Nicole Kidman can do, and she is an incredibly talented actress. I'm not trying, this is not a Nicole Kidman hate stance. Javier Bardem as well. I think they're both immensely talented. Mm-hmm. I don't see either of them as those people. And especially when you're talking Lucille Ball, such an iconic comedian, to get someone who is funny but not a comedian, if that makes sense. I think she can be a funny actress. I don't think she's a comedian. And to bring someone in who I'm just not sure can hit those notes, I'm skeptical.
So, and we were joking. I threw it in as just like a side comment, and I didn't know that this was like something you were also in agreement with, because was it Deborah Messing? Because she was the one that was brought up, and you're like Team Deborah Messing on this one, right? More than
She wouldn't have been my first pick, but I've seen some of the footage of her. You mentioned when we were talking about it, and I looked it up. They did like an I Love Lucy thing on Will and Grace, and she's come out and talked about how Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's kid was
Right.
like, you look amazing, you look just like her, like she nailed the comedy. She has a comedy, like she is someone I would consider a comedian, and someone who, again, maybe not my first pick just off the top of my head, but someone I could certainly see in that role over Nicole Kidman. And like I said, Javier Bardem too just seems like a weird, he's
that
a good
seems
actor.
weird. I agree with that.
Maybe even weirder.
But here's where I support it for those two, because that tells me a lot about the script, and the tone of the movie. Like, if it was just a Saturday Night Live sketch stretched out to 2 hours, then yeah, Deborah Messing is probably the perfect one. The person who looks more like Lucille Ball and could do the faces and the comedic stuff better than Nicole Kidman, and probably Cate Blanchett. 100% agreed. But since we're talking about the synopsis, from what I can, what I think I read about it, was about this week that was this whole, what's this, a story about a week in time that was from the table read to the show.
Table read through to the Friday film, but
it was a situation that almost cost them their marriage. This is what I read in the synopsis. Like, this is not just about the show and how and the comedy. This is something that seriously happened that almost destroyed the show and almost destroyed their marriage. And
I guess here's where I'm living. Here's how I feel about this. I would personally, and maybe they'll blow me away, maybe they'll get cast officially and this movie will come out and I'll be like, I was wrong, they're phenomenal, or like there's something in this movie that, they were the right picks that I didn't know. My biggest thing is, I would rather, especially with such iconic comedy figures, have comedians cast who then impress me with their dramatic chops than dramatic actors trying to stretch for the comedy, unless they're just not doing comedy for it, in which case I'm like, why don't you just make this about why base it on these real people who are so iconically hysterically funny, like one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Right. I felt that's what you would think, where you're going with this, and I was like, if this is more based on comedy than anything else, then yeah, I 100%
Which I don't think it is, but I feel like you need people who can do both, so why not cast? Because I feel like comedians being dramatic tends to work better. Like, more comedians, it's like, oh, they're actually a really solid dramatic actor. That works better than casting people where it's like, they're charming, they can be amusing, but they're not comedians trying to stretch for that much. And I'm not saying it has to be Deborah Messing. I'm just saying there's a lot of very, very talented comedians out there.
I disagree. I love this conversation. I'm on the other side of the fence on this one. I disagree on that one. Because what's his name from the Hangover? What's his name? The very
Which one?
The very attractive one. That's Rocket Raccoon now.
Bradley Cooper.
I never looked at him as a funny guy until he did those Hangover movies. I mean,
he's not that funny in the Hangover.
He's not that
he's
funny.
A straight man.
But he can do funny. So if the movie to me,
but I wouldn't cast him in the fucking in the Robin Williams biopic, like.
But see that's it. It depends if it's more about if the script. See, that's the thing. We're building it up. We don't even know what the script is really about. But if it's like we're retrofitting it to if it's about this, then yes, that person would Messing would probably be the best person. But whether it's about it or not,
to cast someone who I don't feel like is especially funny to be, like I said, one of the most iconic and influential comedians of all time. Even if it's not like make it or do the Vitamita Vegemin scene in the movie or whatever, it's still just like, well, then why are we doing this?
Because she would.
I don't want an edgy I Love Lucy backstory movie. I guess is also fine.
I remember before she died, like after the show was done, and if I remember correctly, she rarely did appearances as Lucy. Like she would. It was very rare and far in between whenever she would put the wig on and go out there and do her thing. Her life wasn't all lights and smiles, and I'm sure
it wasn't, and I don't mind delving into that, but I also like cast someone funny. Just cast someone funny.
Just damn it, just do it, because when we're on the funny scenes, I want it to be fun. I'm the opposite. If the movie is,
I can't picture Nicole Kidman pulling it off. And like I said, I say that with the full. I guess part of it is just like I don't want to see the Lucille Ball biopic where Nicole Kidman is the appropriate casting choice. Wasn't like Nicole, to me that just feels like why?
Wasn't she one of the three that was in the Fox News movie? The three,
yeah, I think so.
I think Nicole can pull it.
That's not a funny movie.
It's not a funny movie, but I don't know why. I don't think, you know what? But before I forget, Joe Ryan, I see him in the chat room. He is saying something that I said like yesterday in my head. We are like, it's like one brain right here. Kristen Wiig would make a good Lucy. I was thinking
that's all I'm saying. Just yes.
Probably because of what we just saw in Wonder Woman 84. She could pull off the drama too. And she's a good actress.
Most really good comedians are good actors. But like that requires an understanding of humanity, I think, and like an intelligence and a talent that more often than not does translate phenomenally to drama.
Kristen has done dramatic roles. Hardship, Love Ship was an amazing dramatic movie.
She's a good dramatic actress.
The answer is if this script is going is mostly about a very personal and dramatic moment in their marriage and the harsh. Get a dramatic actor, because I don't want.
No, get a comedian who can do drama. I will die on that hill.
Okay, I would rather, because if the movie is more about that struggle versus the scene that they pull off in that show and that, then I would rather the drama be better than the comedy. Because I understand you want to honor Lucille Ball. But if the story...
Nicole Kidman just does not like remind me of Lucille Ball at all.
Cate Blanchett, I was reminded when I was putting the show together, this was brought up. The first time I heard about this was brought up with Cate Blanchett back in 2015 on Colliders when they were still doing AMC Movie Talk. Rest in peace, John Schnepp was still alive when they first brought this up as a movie that was in development. And all these years later, Cate Blanchett can't do it anymore, or probably not going to do it anymore. And now they're moving on to possibly Nicole Kidman, maybe. But when I saw Cate Blanchett, at first I was like, I don't see Cate Blanchett either. But then when I looked at her again, I saw them side by side. I feel like Cate Blanchett looks more like Lucille Ball than Nicole Kidman.
I think she would have been a better choice. And on that topic, we did ask the community. Nicole Kidman is set to replace Cate Blanchett in the Lucille Ball biopic, and some consider Blanchett to be one of the greatest actresses of all time. But with Nicole Kidman being a multi-Oscar nominee and winner, if she were to win an Oscar for this film, does that mean that Cate Blanchett definitely would have been nominated or won an Oscar for Best Female?
What they said. That's a weird question, right?
51% said yes, 39% said no. I'd say I don't think any of them are getting an Oscar for this.
Nicole Kidman is an Oscar winner.
I don't think she's going to win an Oscar for this. That's nice.
Whoa.
Can I tell you what Brian Gervais said?
Whoa. What? Who said?
Brian Gervais said, first off, if she were to win, jumping the gun a bit, of course, it doesn't mean they would both have won. It's entirely possible for a good actor to put in a horrible performance or just be miscast. And Joe Ryan says both are great actors, but I do feel that Nicole Kidman is the right person for the role. I think Cate Blanchett would have been better. I still think they're both slightly
I
weird.
think Cate Blanchett would have been better, and I think you go with your powerhouse actor, Cate Blanchett, over comedian. Even though she's playing a comedian, I will die on that hill. I like the way you're judging me and shaking your head.
I just disagree. I just very firmly disagree. But I think we both made our points.
You got it. All right. What's the next one?
From Variety, Netflix.
Right. No. Right. Right. You are. They when they first were doing their streaming thing, yeah, they bought like real popular TV shows that was on network TV and things like that. But once again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. They could predict the future. Okay, eventually Warner Brothers is they're gonna start copying us and probably gonna. I remember the CEO of Netflix. I forgot what the article was. When this was years ago, when they started doing the streaming thing and they started having their original content, they knew it was only a matter of time till the other companies started to copy them and probably provide their own streaming service. So they hurried up and started to do original content. Once they had a certain number of just like original, like Stranger Things and House of Cards and stuff that people were like, oh my God, I love these shows and they're winning awards. And then here come the copycats. And then it was like Warner Brothers was like, all right, we're taking Friends back. We don't want you to have Friends anymore. So, well, we don't need Friends anymore. We got Stranger Things. We got all that. They prepared. Netflix has been amazing and very good at staying afloat. I wish I'd invested in them back in the early 2000s.
I can't imagine not having some access. Like almost any of the other streaming services, you hear people go, just thinking about it now, it's like you hear people go, oh, I don't have Hulu. Oh, I don't have Amazon Prime. Oh, nobody's on Peacock. Like whatever. No one doesn't have Netflix. Like I'm sure some people don't, but
only losers don't have. No,
no, I'm just saying though. Like you never hear someone go, "Oh, I don't have Netflix."
It's like you get nowadays. That's something you get picked on in elementary school nowadays. It's
someone's gonna be in the comments like, "I don't have Netflix."
I don't have Netflix. Okay, and
but
I'm sorry
I
for your
imagine
loss.
just like pop culturally at this point. I mean, I have access to most of them because of stuff like this, but even if I wasn't a big movie or TV person, right, it would be weird to fathom not having like stolen someone's Netflix info by now, because I would just feel so out of the loop so much of the time.
I know what, this is off topic, but I wanted to bring something up. Maybe we should talk about this after the show, and I know we don't know him, but Joe Ryan has been a pretty good guy over this time, like consistent. I'm thinking we want to talk about possible moderator over here with this guy. I don't know, Joe. I'm thinking, we'll talk about it. We'll see. We'll talk about it after the show. We'll have a discussion. But no, you're right. The whole thing, because Joe just says Netflix is my go-to. It's worth every cent. So that made me think. Okay, if Netflix is your number one, what is your number two in your house? Hulu is your number two. Hulu was my number two. Disney Plus has become my number two now.
Well, you have kids. That makes sense. Disney Plus might be my third.
My kids don't watch The Mandalorian.
Amazon Prime's like right there, and it just can't over that bar.
At first, it was definitely Hulu. Then I became obsessed with The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And Amazon has a bunch of great shows. It's just that they stayed the number three. And it's like, when I got a number one and I got a side chick Hulu, I'm not going to go to my number three. She nasty. So that much. So I would always bounce back and forth between Hulu and Netflix. But when Disney...
Like I said, too, at this point, it's pretty much exclusively...
Those two. Yeah.
Well, and it's pretty much exclusively like, we're watching like Bridgerton or whatever we're watching, like whatever original thing we're watching on Netflix.
Have you started watching Bridgerton yet?
Like Hulu's become like my end of the night. Like I know I'm gonna fall asleep, so I'm gonna put on like Bob's Burgers or Frasier or King of the Hill or whatever I want to like fall asleep to, right? Like I feel like that, to me, that really is the divide of like Netflix is its own channel now.
Yeah.
It's like almost exclusively original content for
Yeah.
me.
Exactly. Like I said, she's the Netflix is the wifey, and Hulu's the side chick.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think about that. We'll talk about more of it on possibly on We Got You. But just what is your go-to streaming service? Now it's becoming
One dude's out there like Quibi,
Yeah.
like poor guy.
It's Quibi. Wait, hey, Quibi is, I heard, selling their stuff to Roku. So if you have a Roku device, you'll be able to get the Quibi stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna click on it. There was one Quibi show that made me kind of interesting. This guy was like got into the car with this Uber driver and then like terrorized her and like hunt. Like, she was the driver.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Quibi, we will terrify you.
For when you don't want to sleep.
All right, what's next?
From Collider, there were a lot of questions that arose when Disney bought 20th Century Fox, but one big question Marvel fans had was about the future of the Deadpool franchise. Clearly, Disney wouldn't throw away a franchise and character as valuable as Deadpool.
Would
the
they?
question regarding how the R-rated property would fit into the exclusively PG-13 box of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Collider's own Steve Weintraub recently spoke with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige in anticipation of Marvel's first Disney Plus series, WandaVision. And during their conversation, Feige gave a promising update on Deadpool 3, saying the following, quote, "It will be rated R, and we are working on a script right now, and Ryan's overseeing a script right now. It will not be filming this year. Ryan is a very busy, very successful actor. We've got a number of things we've already announced that we now have to make, but it's exciting for it to have begun. Again, a very different type of character in the MCU, and Ryan is a force of nature, which is just awesome to see him bring that character to life."
I'm trying to
R-rated, baby.
already.
Gonna get the words up on the old Disney Plus. I'm pretty excited.
I already messed the graphic up. I don't know how I did that Google thing. That was weird. I'm glad I didn't have anything. I'm glad I didn't have my other window up by accident. You guys we would have been demonetized. But speaking about R-rated, but I don't think Joe Ryan heard my question about earlier, so we'll talk. I'll talk to him about it later. Deadpool 3, man. So everybody, I'm speculating on how they're going to handle this whole thing with this. So now that it's been confirmed by Kevin Feige himself that he is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they are going to make part 3.
Thank God that they went with the R rating though, because I feel like no one would see a PG-13 Deadpool at this point.
It wouldn't work. And of course it's not going to be. Well, maybe it will be on Disney Plus because at that what was that Disney Plus?
Are they working something out with like an unlockable thing or something? So
exactly.
You can't just put it on.
Exactly. It's gonna probably be on that. Deadpool, you have to put a password in.
You gotta show an ID and your TV will scan it.
To play the R-rated stuff. Otherwise, it would have just been on Hulu. But if he's going to be in the universe there with them, then yeah, it's gonna probably be on Disney Plus, but an unlockable thing. Kevin Feige probably had to go to the big boss and was like, "Look, we're gonna have to make some adjustments because there's no way in the world that it makes sense that the most profitable property from Fox that they spent $70+ billion on that we do nothing with. I mean, Deadpool and Deadpool 2, $1 billion, and Deadpool 3, and it's probably a good thing that it's not going to start filming this year." That means it's going to probably come out in 2022, maybe the end of 2022. Hopefully, when we're all going back to the theaters again and all this is out of the way, this could be another $1 billion movie. So
I have a
I'm
very
excited.
proud tradition of getting like a little too drunk and seeing Deadpool in theaters.
You did that? You got drunk to see Deadpool 1 and Part 2?
And 2, yes. The first one I had to see a second time because I was like, I remember having a great time. That's about it. Well, I remember because there's like the shot where he's fully nude in Deadpool, and it's like pretty subtle.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't that far gone, and I remember hearing afterwards like, oh yeah, like you can see Ryan Reynolds' penis, and I was like, was I that drunk? And I saw it again, and I was like, oh okay, like it's subtle. I'm not.
It's flaccid. Yeah, it's fine. It's like, that's...
I thought I was like, I can't imagine being drunk enough to not remember that. Like I was,
You were talking about a good time, baby. We speculated a little bit about what who would cameo on that, right? Or what people want to see.
Oh yeah, we did. We asked, will we see a Deadpool cameo in the MCU before his third film? 20% said yes, 20% said no, and 60% said if so, only in after credit scenes.
Yeah,
I agree with the majority. That's what my money's on. I could see them doing like a little throwaway, like maybe even not like the after credit scene, but like that extra after credit.
Yeah, or the mid credit, the one that doesn't really have anything to do with the show. I could see him coming in the after credit stuff just to keep people, because that's like a commercial that keeps people guessing like what's about to happen with this third.
Remember, we own Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, let's just hope he doesn't do anything weird to Mickey and all of them.
I'm really hoping they'll just have a Deadpool character in the park, just like cursing up a storm.
If they don't acknowledge that, because the Deadpool 2 movie had what's his name who played Cable? What was his name? He also played Thanos.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. If they don't, and because in Deadpool 2 he called him Thanos just to mess with his head. So if that's gotta come up somehow, some way. So I'm speculating on it's gonna be fun from this day forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting too, because I feel like as much as the Marvel universe can do fun, they don't really do self-referential.
Yeah.
Necessarily. I'm sure again, someone's gonna yell at me in the comments of like, actually, in this Spider-Man.
Actually, besides Deadpool, Spider-Man is one of the only ones that would also break the fourth wall. Now there's a couple characters that'll break the fourth wall, and that's why everybody wants Deadpool to be in the MCU, because there's such a unique relationship between Spider-Man and Deadpool, and it would be funny if they. But it's harder because Sony's got to be in the mix with this and approve it, and there's only a few movies that they're going to do with Marvel. So if they're going to try to somehow squeeze in a Spider-Man thing, they have to do it quick, because there's only so many that Sony and Marvel are going to do together before. I think if I remember correctly, I think Sony and Marvel are about to just do the next few movies and then kind of start separating again. So, but it'll be funny. I can't wait to see what they do with it. It's going to be hilarious. Hopefully Ryan Reynolds will start sprinkling in a little. Their marketing was always perfect. So very good. With the Disney, hopefully Disney won't neuter that.
I can't imagine they're not going to let them kind of like nudge, wink, wink, have some fun with it.
Let Ryan be Ryan, kind of a thing.
I think so. Well, and like even within the movie, like there's going to be jokes, there's going to be references, and like I think that's what people are waiting for and expecting. And I feel like if they don't at least meet them sort of halfway on letting them have that fun, people are going to be like, you ruined Deadpool.
Yeah.
So.
Joel Mayberry says what a lot of people are saying, that Deadpool should pretty much be like the way Stan Lee was with his cameos. It would be funny. It just wouldn't work because he's got the costume on, and even without the mask,
But I feel like once you could really get away with that.
You could do it one good time.
Yeah.
Which movie would make the most sense? That's the question. That's a thinker.
Thinking.
I would say Spider-Man, but it's Sony, and I don't think they'll approve that. If Iron Man was still alive, I would have said him.
Wow, spoilers.
Sorry. Thor, but I mean, how is Deadpool going to get in outer space like that? Guardians of the Galaxy, that would. That's going to happen. But how is that? But again, how is he going to get in outer space? It's hard. It's hard. I would say maybe Ryan Reynolds himself, not as Deadpool, maybe just kind of just like popping up just to throw people off.
I feel like you could just even throw it in as like a throwaway, or at least like a post credit. I that is my bet that they will do some post credit stuff with it of like a.
Remember Deadpool 1 before he got captured and given the the stuff to make him Weapon X, whatever that was, he became Weapon 20, whatever. What about Ryan Reynolds as that version of Deadpool before he got the powers, like some
just
kind
as
of
like Wade Wilson.
like just him as Wade Wilson, and just maybe this was before like a back in time kind
That
of thing.
opens a lot of timeline questions that I am not nerdy enough to know.
I mean, it can just like it would tell. Well, I guess it's because we don't know. I don't know if we know the year that the Deadpool movies happen, and they can do whatever they want. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. This is before the snap. I don't know. I don't know. We can speculate on that all day, guys. So let us know what you guys think about it, and we'll keep talking about that. Guys, you already know. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let us know what you guys think. That's like I said. That's the show. Tell us what you thought about everything before we can talk about it again on the next episode of We Got Your Mails. Always support the channel. Become a subscriber. Let us know what you guys think, and hit us up on Patreon. Support the channel if you can, because we really appreciate it, and it does help us out with the content. And if you want to get us a shot, want us to give you a shout out on it, that's the way to do it. Unless you're Joe Ryan, then we'll probably always shout you out. I'm Chris Fagan. If you want to find me, you can go to, and I'm doing a little bit more on TikTok too, but it's the same thing. Go to right here. Go to Chris Fagan 1980 on Twitter or on Instagram and on TikTok. Or maybe I should put a TikTok graphic on that. And you can hit me up, and if you want to follow me there, let me know. And Miss Amy Newman, if they want to follow you, where can they find all of your adventures?
I am on Twitter at Amy_and_Newman, and on Instagram at Amy.n.Newman. I know I've plugged this a couple times. I have an original web series I wrote and am in and co-created. All the info, if you find any of my social media, I've been pushing it, annoyingly. So make sure if you like kind of a rom-com sort of thing, check out Your Biggest Fan. That's on YouTube right now.
Yeah. So for all and Amy called me a robot when I plugged it the first time. I said,
I did not call you a robot.
I said Amy Newman's YouTube channel. It is great, and she's like, "What bot made that tweet?"
No, I was trying to clarify. May I defend myself very quickly? I was just like, "Yo, I didn't write this because I hate that it always looks like I'm on the Twitter account." Like, look at the funny thing our funny co-host wrote. So I was just like, on the record, Chris wrote this, not me. And then someone else was like, a robot wrote this.
Yeah,
and that's not my fault.
A robot named My Feelings. What the fuck? But no, it's funny though. And for all you guys who have said, I read your comments. For all of you guys who have acknowledged that Amy is the one and only true talent of this channel, and she should be doing those reactions on her own personal channel, I recently suggested this to her and she said no. She's like, I'm gonna keep her. She's like, what do you say? You're gonna keep your YouTube channel about what its niche is, and you're gonna keep the reactions here on Talking to the Medias, right? That's what you said?
Yeah. No, I enjoy doing the reactions for you guys, but it's
you're gonna do it here.
Here through the channel, and then my personal YouTube channel is a little more of my personal creative endeavors.
Yeah. So haha, in your face, guys. So whenever she does the reaction, she's gonna do it right here. So yeah, too bad. No. But I was just letting you know that's what a couple. I remember a couple of comments came in that said that, and I'm not gonna lie. It's a guy thing, you know. They like to support female YouTubers on their own thing.
Well, then come watch my ding dang web series.
There you go. Watch your ding dang web series. There you go, guys. Ding dang.
My ding dang web series. It took me way too long to make.
Watch my ding dang. Oh my God! I just wanted to put you on full screen with that ding dang. What the hell was that about? That's funny. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I think we're gonna. Are we gonna do the After Dark stuff? Do you want to talk about that, or want to just pre-record that? What are we doing with that?
Chris, don't put me on the spot.
We'll figure it out. That's the show, guys. Until next time. Peace.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.